live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to real quick go on my Instagram. Yep, I see you.
Only 2 minutes late.
Hey, that's record timing.
I think that's perfect.
Isn't it always? Okay, let me get rid of this bad boy though. You want to go ahead and start us out and I'll get us shared around.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Conversations for Clarity. We are here every Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time. I am Celeste, also known as Mothering Healing on Facebook and Instagram. I am a spiritual medium and an intuitive life coach, and it is always a pleasure to be here to serve you every Wednesday.
Yay! And I'm Stephanie, and I am just like kind of in a spiritual high right now. I don't like, there's some amazing energies, and I just am so grateful to be here. Really what's been hidden for me that I wanted to share as an introduction is community. Community keeps just popping up, conscious community. So I'm just honored that every Wednesday we get to come here and just chat and invite other people into our space to talk about things that matter to them. So I've had some major pushes in my business over the last couple of weeks. I'm excited to work with people in aligning themselves to really themselves and let go of this avatar style marketing and really just speak to your people, the people that are waiting for you. So
love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We're both on a spiritual high.
I know. It's just been some really cool energies and yeah. So today our loose structure is talking about flip your words, flip your life. At the second Wednesday. So we are here every Wednesday from 12 to 1, just having conversation. This is a radio style call-in show. So anybody that's listening in on any of the platforms can call in. In fact, I need to throw it in there real quick. And just really, if you're new to listening in, this is Conversations for Clarity. Celeste and I just hop on every Wednesday for an hour and talk about life. We've talked about the whole gamut of everything and anything. And if you have a question that you're contemplating and just want a different perspective, Celeste is a brilliant medium and can offer some mini readings if that's something that's calling to you, or you just want to chat about.
You're so kind.
Life, kind and honest.
What is that number, Miss Stephanie? And I will pin it on my Instagram.
It is 346-248 7799. And bear with us because we are like the tech crew and everything. So,
and the ID is?
And the ID is 835-2742-2896. And you can call in just through your phone. And you don't have to be on video. You can just call in and voice it. So those are pinned on my Instagram, and it's all on Facebook as well. So.
And it is pinned on my Instagram.
Yay! Well, do you want to give a little intro on Flip Your Words, Flip Your Life, and what the intention of this conversation is?
You know, Flip Your Words, Flip Your Life came from, I would have to say, one, my love for Abraham Hicks. I listen to her every morning as I'm getting ready. And also the fact that it is one of the biggest things that I discuss with my clients is just flipping their perspective and changing the words that we use in our daily lives, because words carry so much power and we really don't realize it until we start to pay attention. And when we can change the words that we use, then we can change the vibration in our authenticity and start attracting the things that we truly desire and deserve to have in our life.
This has been something that's coming up for me lately about just really realizing where my language is. Like I was actually having a conversation with a friend the other day about how I call it my past self in my corporate job. I was a miserable bitch. Like I was everything that came out of my mouth. The first thing that said, I was always looking for not looking, I was always saying something negative.
Mm.
And the conversation came was with James, actually, our mutual friend, where he built this beautiful water structure down at Cabela's, or maybe Thanksgiving Point, I can't remember exactly where, but he built this beautiful water structure, and all these people were, on it and talking about how awesome it was. And he was just observing. And one person said, well, isn't that too much? Or that's too much. And that's the one comment he held on to. And I was like, I was that person. Because I said, imagine like everyday life with that too much person. Everything is going to be over the top for them, right? At that one sentence, that one statement is kind of a telling of how they interact. And I was that person, and it was this big aha, like, and it was a conscious effort to shift my words and to realize how much I was focusing on the negative in the first reaction to things. Versus, versus really like, is that really what I want to focus on?
And on the flip side, how many of us hold on to that one negative and we totally disregard the 99 positives, which completely outweigh it. But for some reason, we have been conditioned to look for what's wrong and constantly be fixing instead of just being in the moment and focusing on the positives and focusing on where we want our life to be and to go.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very
Words have so much power. And if you're not familiar with the study by, his name just went out of my head, the Japanese doctor that did the study on the water and just speaking the words to it. And you can do it with water, you can do it with bread. It is a beautiful experiment to do with your kids and show them how important and how powerful words really are.
It reminds me when I was a kid, one of my science experiments that we did, we had the science fair. I had 2 plants, and one week I kept in the dark, and the other one I kept in the light, but I would talk to them every day. And I did this experiment myself as a kid and talked to the one in the light, very positive, uplifting, you're amazing. And then the one in the dark, it was very negative, and you're ugly, you're this and that. And then I measured how much it had grown in the time. And it was true for my experiment.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it was fascinating as a kid to see that.
I always like to tell people the story of one of the most precious mentors I've had in my healing is Reverend Millie, this 80-year-old little beautiful soul that just loves everyone and everything. People would send her so many flowers for her birthday every year. And you would go into her place. Well, I used to, because I used to drive her. And I would walk in like months after, and all of these cut flowers would still be alive. And it is truly because of the love that this woman radiates and the gratitude that she felt in her heart for these flowers. And she would talk to them and just share that love with them, and they would stay alive. And it's amazing.
Oh, I just got chills. And it's simple. It doesn't cost any money. It's not any effort. It is about awareness, like for me, when I was talking to Sharon earlier, it was a practice to shift the words, but it isn't, it doesn't cost any amount of money or a thing that you have to do, a thing to do, it's just awareness and witnessing.
Yeah, it is just an awareness. It's beautiful.
Are you doing the Flip Your Words, Flip Your Life in person still every month?
I'm going to try. There haven't really been, people still don't seem to be ready to congregate. Mm-hmm. I do have it scheduled for this month. So if some people are interested, that is on the 4th Friday of the month. It will be right before I have a Weekend Awakening seminar that I'm also teaching that weekend, the 27th and 28th. So right now it's scheduled for the 26th. Yep.
Nice. What inspired you with Abraham Hicks? What inspired you to continue to learn and listen to her stuff?
I think it's because most of my life I've always tried to be that peacekeeper. I've kind of always been one of those people that is always looking at the other side of the other person's story. Even now, I used to joke about it. Like, I used to drive my kids crazy because they would come to me and be like, oh, da 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 da, did this. And I'd be like, well, what did you do? How did you, I would always talk to them about their part in it. And I think a lot of what Abraham shares is that same mentality, that our perspective on things and how we look at things matter so much. And then when I started to see, during my healing, I was in that fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like in that fake it till you make it. And I'm like, I'm doing what everybody's telling me. I'm talking positive. I'm looking for the positive side. Why is this not changing in me? Why are all these things still happening to me? And in listening to Abraham, I realized that it's more than the fake it till you make it. You have to fake it and feel it and believe it if you want to change it. So it's just about going in those deeper layers. And from that point on, there's just so many beautiful nuggets of wisdom that she shares on a daily basis that even sometimes I'll listen to the same one. I always trust, I literally will sit there in the morning and I will go to open my phone and I will say, okay, universe, whatever I need to hear today. And then I will open it up to her page, and whatever's there is whatever the first one I see is what I put on. And sometimes it's one I've already heard, but I will hear something different in it, which is relevant for me in that moment. It's beautiful the way the universe works.
Yeah, I remember, I think that how the gateway to spirituality for me was The Secret, but I think it did me a disservice for me, and it's okay because it was part of my learning and growth. But I had that, if I just speak it, and if I say it out to the universe, I'll receive it, right? But I was very grumpy inside. I was very like, didn't believe it, like would say, I get to create $1 million by the end of the year, because it was always about money in the beginning, right? And it was like inside, I was like, you're right. Or I would go about my day, like, I get to create loving relationships. And then I was talking down on myself. I was judging my body. I was like, so of course I wasn't creating that. And it's really like I love that you brought that in, that feeling. It's not just saying it. Flip your words, flip your life is a first step in it. But when you're actually physically saying it, and it's embodying the feeling of it that really creates that shift.
Yeah, that's what aligns you with the correct vibration for what you want. That's what I always tell manifesting generators. We talk about human design and gene keys all the time in here. And I'm always telling the manifesting generators, you're going to get that sacral response, but you have to pause. You have to take that pause and take a breath. And you have to visualize exactly what you want this outcome you've agreed to be. You have to visualize what you want it to be, and then inform people and go. And that's because that's how they manifest. And it's the same thing with this. You have to truly embrace it and feel it and visualize it. When I work with people that are like, I can never meet Mr. Right, I always tell them, why do you want someone? We talk about it, like we really break it down. It's like, what do you really want? And very often it's the security, it's the comfort, it's just having that interaction with someone else. And I'll sit there with them and we'll dreamscape and we'll come up with, okay, it's the morning time and you're waking up and that perfect person is laying right next to you. How do you feel? What are you going to do? Are you going to have a conversation about your day? Or, what will it look and feel like? And we go through it. And I said, that's how you attract that person in your life. You literally feel every day when you wake up exactly what you want it to be. And then you will become more and more in alignment and they will come to you.
Yeah. I was at a drum circle. This was quite a few years ago. And the woman was sharing a similar story about how she was in a marriage and she was frustrated with the marriage. Her partner wasn't doing X, Y, and Z, all of these things, and so she got that received similar advice that says, okay, just take time every day and write down what it is what is a perfect relationship for you, and take out, like, so she said in the beginning, her mind was like, oh, I'm creating a new relationship, right? This one's going to end and I'm going to bring somebody else in. And but she did it consistently and started embodying the feelings and really being with it. And she said, like, of course, her marriage shifted and it became this perfect relationship because she sat with it every single day and felt with it every single day. And she's like, I remember thinking in the beginning, like, ooh, who is this new guy that's going to come in? And all along it was her current spouse. And that story, this was years ago, and that stuck with me.
That's so beautiful.
How often we look outside of our current situations, and it's, we get to create, and the universe knows more, right? That for all the people involved, the best outcome is possible. And it's just
that's another reason why I always say, don't try to picture him. Don't try to say, like he's got blonde hair and this kind of build, and go with the feeling. Go with the feeling of what it's going to be when this person is with you, and focus on that. And then allow yourself to be open to receive what you have manifested. Don't shut yourself off to it.
Yeah. I'm going to put you on the spot because the question's coming through, so I might as well. We've talked about it, and I know this about you, but whenever we get in a conversation, we do tend to see the good in everything, right? We always are talking about the good. Have you had the recent or in a situation that you had to consciously flip your words, flip your life? Told you I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'm trying to think. I know the other day I was very aggravated at something, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I try to let go of this stuff so quickly that it's hard to then try to remember. But I do know just recently, in like the past 2 weeks, I was very aggravated by something, and I'm trying to remember what it was. And I literally had to be like, no, let's just send that back to them. But I think I'm doing a fairly good job right now at really being conscientious and aware of the words that I use. But I always tell people, call me out. I think the big one for me right now that I'm still working through is the I'm sorry. Because I feel like, well, I don't feel like, I know it's true because people have actually sent me research on it, that we have this society where people just throw I'm sorry out there. And sometimes they just throw it out there because they know that's what they're supposed to do, what they've been conditioned to do. And some people throw it out there because they have been abused and they feel they have no self-worth, and they feel like they have to apologize for everything that they say and do or don't do. So I think the sorry is the one that's a really big one for me right now, is really working through, why do we say I'm sorry? And why do we need to say I'm sorry? And when should we say I'm sorry? And some of the things that I've realized, I actually had a psychiatrist tell me, when I apologized for something silly, she said, did you intend to hurt me in this moment? And I said, what? She said, did you intend to hurt me in this moment? I said, of course not. I would never intend to hurt anyone. She said, then don't apologize to me. We're all human. We all make mistakes that we're meant to learn and grow through. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Because I know I'm one of these people that would used to say I'm sorry to everything. So now I've really been trying to rein that in and really focus on why I say it. And then I shared with you earlier, now I've like moved it to the next level. I've been doing a lot of channeling lately, something that people have always told me I'm supposed to do. And I've struggled with it because I didn't really know what that meant. And I finally, in the past few weeks, discovered what that means. And it's a beautiful thing. And I can't wait till I finally share it with people. But in these channelings, I've learned that in the collective, there is no such thing as sorry. there is no sorry. There's only empathy. There's no judgment. There's only acceptance and empathy for people. It's so different. It's such a different, full acceptance and union that it's amazing. So now I've been even more conscientious about why and when it's said.
I'm looking up the word sorry because I realize I don't even know the meaning of sorry. And I get fascinated. I love like vocabulary and words. And so curiositydictionary.com, sorry is an adjective. And it says feeling regret, compunction.
For people.
Sympathy.
It's so different. It's such sorry.
Hold on a sec.
How do I shut it off? Okay, sorry.
Like, wait, are you reading my
right? See? Go ahead.
That was funny. Feeling regret, compunction. I don't know what that means. Sympathy, pity. To be sorry to leave one's friends was an example. Regrettable or deplorable, unfortunate, tragic events, a sorry situation. That's interesting. Sorrowful, grieved, or sad, associated with sorrow, blah, blah, blah. Because I was realizing, the great I am, right? The power that comes behind or what you say after I am. This is the great I am, the God I am, that. So I am sorry. And you were talking about how like that brilliant, what the psychologist, did you intend to hurt me? And how many times I've said, I'm sorry, or sorry, like we even use it in sarcasm, right? Sorry. Right. And it's like, do I feel regret? Do I feel pity for you? Like, if I say I'm sorry, I'm pitying you. But we use I am sorry as a thing that's something that we did. Forgiveness for what we did. That's just super fascinating to me.
Yeah. So I've really been sitting with that sorry.
Yeah, I am. And I've taken that out with my kids because I did notice how many times I was saying I am sorry, but I actually didn't feel bad. Or I continue to make the same mistakes. So I am sorry I yelled. Well, then the next moment I'm yelling again. So really, am I sorry? No, because I clearly want to keep doing it, right? So this is one that, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. They say they say many times in couples therapy, when you say I'm sorry, you're making a statement that you're going to make a change and not do this again. Well, every time you say I'm sorry, are you really committing to the fact that you're never going to make that mistake again?
You can't do that.
Right? So there's there are just so many conditions around that word that I've really been diving into it with people.
Yeah. And my favorite too is I'm sorry, but da 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 da.
That takes everything away.
Yeah. Like just take it. And that's just cool. Like, again, to remind those that are listening in, the second Wednesday of every month, we're talking about flipping your words, flip your life. And just really the power of the intentions we set through our words and through our actions. So if you have a question around this or want to join in the conversation, we do have it set up where you can call in and just dial in. You won't be on video. And we would love to just chat and share experiences of where you have flipped your words. Or if you are looking, maybe there's something in your life that you're struggling with of flipping it yourself, then we would love to be able to have that conversation. And I just asking if there was anything recent where she's used it. And I do think that it becomes more innate the more around, the awareness around it. I had a recent experience because I do love to talk about tangible ways of using these tools. I went out lunchtime. I was jumping on the tramp with the kids, and it started just feeling yucky. Like we were all kind of just grumpy towards each other, and I caught myself. My tendency is I throw mommy tantrum, and I go and run. I'm fine. I'm just done. You guys don't need me to be here. There's my codependent in my Gene Key stuff. But I stopped myself and I'm like, wait a minute. we're here to have fun. This is not fun. This experience is not fun. So I can either choose to walk away from it and kind of leave it hanging, or I can choose into it and lean into it. And so I literally turned around, walked back and said, hey guys, do we want to create fun here? And I kind of go, because it was crappy energy, right? And I said, no, do we really want to create fun? And they're like, yeah, that sounds, I mean, does that feel better than this right now? And we consciously chose fun, and we were bouncing and jumping, and really, like, it was really a choice in the matter, because I could have went inside and we would all forgotten about it and we would all went on our day, but it was that conscious choice to say, hey, what are we choosing into right now?
So beautiful.
And it's, it's not a one and done lesson, right? It's the power of the present moment, that we always have that choice in the moment to choose into it. And sometimes we don't choose what's best for us, and you get to learn through that.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's a great moment.
It was fun. And we did have a blast. I do not understand how they have so much energy and that they could be out there for hours jumping like that. As a generator, I have my energy in other things, but the physical, my goodness, those kids can just go, 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 go.
Yep.
Get a piece of that.
And I can bottle up some of that.
I know. $1 million. Oh. Well, anything else that's coming up for you?
Not at the moment. No. I'm just sitting here and enjoying the visual of you kids jumping on the trampoline and flipping it into fun, and joy and laughter.
And literal flips.
Yeah.
They have reminded me, this has been a conscious effort on my part to play more this year. I do have a tendency to be very serious, thanks human design and the awareness around that, and have delight in my life. And I can flip with them.
I love it.
It's so fun.
That's awesome.
I was like, I need to get back. I'm setting the intention to relearn my back flip.
Oh, that's awesome.
I need to record and share that.
Yes, I want to see. Even if you don't post it, I want to see it.
Of course.
Oh.
It's been fun. I want to hear, if you guys are listening, in ways that you find joy and delight in your life. I was watching a show the other day. It was set in the 40s and 50s, something like that. And they were talking about going to a puppet, those old mariachi puppets.
Oh yeah.
And one of the characters said, why would we go to that? We're adults. We're not children. And she's like, I just thought it would be fun. Like, can we just go be children? Like, I would love to be with you as a child before the world got in, Scrooge up, basically, is what the conversation was. And I was like, oh my gosh, how much as adults do we forget to be childlike and experience joy? If you're listening, then I would love for you to comment on what you do to find joy and to get out of the mundane adult life. Like, do you remember being a kid and all the adults would tell you, you want to grow up? And they're like, no, you don't want to grow up, because this is when life gets too serious.
Yeah.
What to find joy, because I want that. This is a huge intention I have this year, is finding more joy in all things, but like purposefully created.
Yeah, that's another topic that I discuss all the time with my clients. Is we'll talk about, especially when they're having a hard time, we'll talk about, what was one of the things that you loved the most when you were a kid, whether it be a treat that you would get or an activity that you do. What is something that just made you feel so much love and joy? And we would talk about it, and you could just see their energy shift, and you could feel them light up. And I would say, now go do that right now. Allow yourself to go do that and be that child and experience that joy and that love and zest for life. Because that is truly what we are here for.
Why do you think so many adults have forgotten that?
Conditioning. society just puts so many conditions on us. And it's a beautiful sight to watch that so many of those are starting to break away. It has really been beautiful to sit back and watch so many people realize, there has to be more to life than just punching this clock and going home and doing chores at home and going to bed and then starting all over again.
Mark my words, this summer when we feel comfortable, and we can probably even do something very socially distant-ish, let's like create a day of play. Like I see, water, like a slip and slide, like rent a bounce house, and it's not age limited because I'll do that for my kids, and then no adults allowed or whatever. Like have a play date for us adults.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be fun.
Fly kites and blow bubbles and play hopscotch. Just have fun.
Oh, that would be okay. That's happening. That's for those that are listening in. We've been meeting a year on our Imagine group, and we're kind of revitalizing it, and marked a year of meeting, a year of you and I meeting, which is
I know.
And just really creating conscious community and these types of things. So if this calls to you, we do have a group. We have our Facebook group, The Courtyard, which you can come in and just really be yourself, collaborate with others. It's a little growing community. It's been fun to witness it and to watch people kind of come out of their shells a little bit.
From all around the world.
Yes.
All around the world. It's been beautiful.
Yes. And then a quick shout out, we do have an official house on Clubhouse now.
Yay.
Celeste and I do something similar to this on Thursday nights at 6, where we're just talking about simple tools, or conscious tools for simple living. Oh, maybe that's it. We've been trying to find the name. Yeah, conscious tools for simple living. And then I know there's going to be more things housed. You want to do some psychic and more of giving people places to expand their gifts, right?
Yeah, well, I want to just create an opportunity, a room where people can come in and, sometimes people just want that quick little touch in, and get a little reading, a little mini reading, or get a card reading. And this is a great opportunity to have some of my students still be able to practice and give, the community an opportunity, give it back to the community, give them an opportunity to get some readings.
Just have space for good conversations.
Right.
And obviously,
I'll even start a flip your words, flip your life room.
There you go. What have you loved about Clubhouse?
I love the expansion of it. I love that it's been an opportunity. It truly has been an opportunity to, one, sit in and listen in on some conversations from some people that are very educated and very accomplished in their fields. And they really do give some great advice. It really is about giving back. It's about giving back to the community. And sure, we all have our Instagram links, or we all have things like that. And if you feel pulled, come check us out and get a session if you'd like. But it's really about just networking. I have met so many amazing people in Clubhouse from all around the world. It's just been beautiful. Yeah.
Expansive is the word that really sticks out for me. And just the give back. There isn't you like the fly on the wall for these brilliant conversations, but you're a welcomed fly. Like you're welcomed into it. You can simply listen in if you're, driving, whatever, or you can ask to participate. And every time I felt called to participate, I have been received, and that's been really fun.
It's beautiful, right? It feels really good. Yeah. You can be part of the conversation, or you can just listen to it. Yeah. There's many times that I've gone in the rooms lately and people have recognized me and they've immediately called me up to the stage. And, I've simply just said, thank you so much. I'm honored. I really want to listen right now. I'm in a space that I want to receive, and that's always fine too. It's beautiful. It's just it's a very safe space to be sharing and just networking. I love it.
Yay. foundation, setting the foundations for conversations, right?
Yes.
Just beautiful conversations. Well, if you're listening in, we'd love to have you. Today's kind of a quiet day, it feels. It's been like that lately, but we would love to invite anybody to come join the conversation. There's something that you just a desire for a different perspective, or maybe you want to connect with a loved one. I'll open the invite for that as well. And yeah, just come join us, because we're here. We're here to serve you, here to just open up the space for you. We could talk about everything and anything. So
if you're listening to the recording and you have a question or something that you would like to share with us, please feel free to DM us or send us an email, or any way that we have to touch base, and we're happy to discuss it on one of our next topics.
Yeah. You know what, in kind of the same theme of flip your words, how do you navigate our collective right now when it comes to, like social media? I really believe that it's Facebook, for example, is definitely out to make money, right? And so they want to pit people against each other. They want to expand on the negative conversations. How do you navigate through that, being such a open, especially reflective?
I'm not going to lie, and especially being a reflector, we're all about the collective. That's what's important is, and it's funny when I look back on it, it's true. I was always about the whole of everything, like I wanted my whole school to get along, and couldn't understand why there had to be certain cliques and niches and they fought with each other. It's like, can't we all just do the same thing and, be together? And so it is hard. I have found myself more and more staying off of social media. I know last year I just spent a lot of time really going within and trying to tune in and just feel out what is true and what isn't. I tell people all the time, usually in everything that's said on each side, there is always some truth. I haven't found a situation where I've heard something and 100% of it seems to be false. There's always some truth. So it's just about feeling them out and trying to figure out what the truth is and what it means to you. But so many times it's just hard, because I've watched so many people get sucked into it and just be so depressed and devastated by the things that, I can't tell you how many people send me things all the time. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? And I just let them sit in what they have to, they've got to feel it out for themselves. But yeah, it's just weaning through it. It's just really paying attention to your intuition and going in within and feeling what's right for you.
What does going in mean to you?
For me, it is literally taking a breath and breathing into my heart center and bringing my awareness to my heart center and just focusing on how it feels, whatever the information is that's coming. You know what I mean? And just deciphering, trying to discern what is correct for me and what isn't.
I love this conversation because, and I've shared this many times, but in my beginning of the journey, people would always say, go within. And I would be so annoyed because how? Like, I was very logical, like what, why, how does that, what does that mean? And I don't feel like enough people talk about literal, and I know it's unique, but there is.
One of the best tools that I can suggest is to look up Greg Braden in the heart-mind connection. That was life-changing for me and really helped me learn how to really go within and connect with my heart center, because we all have been trained to come from this place of sorting things out in our head. And, your head analyzes information based on what you have been taught, what you have experienced, what you have lived through. It's been conditioned. And that's how your mind then makes decisions, by filtering through all of everyone else's perspective that you've heard. Where your heart, In Native American cultures, they call it Shante Ishtar, the eye of the heart. The heart does not know right or wrong. It only discerns. It only knows what is correct in the moment for you. So by tuning into your heart center and becoming more aware of what it feels like for you is a correct answer, then you stay out of your head and you stay out of all of that conditioning that's been put upon you. Your heart truly knows the answer before you finish asking the question. Before you even finish formulating the question, your heart already has an answer for you. And an exercise that I do with kids is I'll ask them when I'm teaching them meditations and teaching them how to tune into their heart center. I'll ask them questions that they know the answers to. And if you truly pay attention to your heart, when it's something that you truly like, it's for you, your heart expands. That energy in your heart center will just, it will beautifully expand with joy and warmth and acceptance. And when it's not right, it constricts. The energy pulls in tight to your heart like it's trying to protect you. And that is the best way I know to go within.
The gene key and the gate of 25 is the shadow of constriction, and the gift of acceptance, accepting the present moment with the city of unconditional love. So imagine
Shante Ishtar.
and Richard Rudd talks about like physical birth and how we all pass through this during time of physical birth because of literally whether you get in the science, like constriction going through the birth channel or even constriction when you C-section type, but we all go through this wounding of constriction, and we know it at the depths of our soul because it's the first experience into human life.
Yes.
My body's tingling right now.
And when you're in the womb, your heart is the first organ to develop, not your brain, your heart. So it only makes sense that the heart is where we need to go when we have questions. It won't lie to us.
And it, like, I feel this is our head is important. And we've over the last few years, like, get out of your head space and just go in your heart. The heart is what leads, but becoming an observer of the mind is that follow-up step of then witnessing the self-talk, witnessing those conditioning, witnessing the perspectives that you've heard from mom, dad, uncle, whatever, like being in witnessing it, because our brains are our minds are super powerful.
Yes.
And they have a filing cabinet of good, bad, and ugly. I'm putting air quotes around those things. And so, trusting the heart and then having that observer around it, seeing really what's going on in the head space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel if you get completely out of the head, it's so weird because I would like heart first, drop into the heart space. And like you were saying, there's an expansive feeling and there's a constricted feeling. And so I'm grateful that this question's coming up about social media and all anything. You receive knowledge, you can just take a second and just say, ooh, how does this feel to me right now? And your body will tell you, your energetic body, your physical body will tell you if this is a yes for you, right, or a right for you right now, or not. Is it repelling and is it going the other way? So, yeah.
And there's so many different tools that people use. Like a lot of people will use muscle testing. There are many different tools that they'll use, but inevitably they all come from the heart center. That's where it truly comes from. So if you can teach yourself to tune into your heart center and bring your awareness there when you're asking your questions, you will feel your answer.
Yeah. For those that are joining in, we've got 15 minutes and we've kind of been all over, but we're just talking about tuning in, going within, sorting through the noise, the chaos, because beauty can come through chaos, I believe. Our physical world was created through that chaos.
Our biggest lessons come from chaos.
Yes, yes. So every Wednesday week, Celeste and I just hop on and just have conversations. So if there's a question you have or a topic you want to discuss, you can comment, or we have the phone number to dial in as well. And we've been talking about the power of your words and going within. Oh, this one gets me every single time. Because once I finally realized, because I was sharing, like I would get frustrated when people would say that because I didn't know what that meant. And that is why I'm so passionate about having conversations around spirituality and tools, because it's like the bridge, right? Once you cross the bridge, you can go direct to source, right? But there's the walking across the bridge of conditioning, societal norms, but there's a bridge to get to that full peace and direct connection. And there's tools as you're walking across those bridge to develop your spiritual senses, to develop that divine connection. And sometimes we look at somebody that's already there, which nobody ever makes it there until they pass on.
Exactly.
But they're there and we think, oh my gosh, they just kind of get it. Well, it took time to cross over that bridge.
And being in that position, not that I'm there, but I've walked over a few bridges. We also forget. I say this to people all the time. I forget. So I'm so grateful when you ask those questions, what does it mean to go within? And I challenge people all the time, especially when I teach classes, ask me questions, because I forget that it's not just my destination. It's not where I am that I need to just share. It's how I got there. And sometimes we work so hard to get to where we are that we forget to discuss all of that stuff too. You know what I mean? So no, I'm always grateful when you ask those questions because I forget about them.
My passion for spirituality 101, and that's a big, broad way of saying it, but it's tools. But I do feel like there's so many people that are opening up, and it's like, now where do I go? And if you were just to say go within to somebody that's brand new to, they'll be like, because I was that girl in so many people. And I remember a few people that when I asked what that meant, and they're like, well, you just do it.
Oh,
do what? Do so it's important to me to make sure that we remember that we've all, we're all students, right? Just you're, learning to ride a bike. At one time, you didn't know how to do it. And somebody had to tell you to get your balance, to push one's pedal down and to do it. And then once you learn it, you can always get back on and ride your bike. And there's just so many people that are opening up, and we need each and every one of you to continue to receive. And I didn't think I would get emotional, but this has been so heavy, big lately about, I imagine a world of love. I imagine that we don't have to fight over religion, and we don't have to fight and over
race
and
sexuality and
and in order to create that, it takes each of us to step into the divine essence, the beings that we are, and to create it. And we need each of us because each person brings that puzzle piece.
Oh, that authentic, one of a kind puzzle piece.
Yeah. So I guess I'm, calling, I love a John Legend song, calling all the people to stand up, that we can create a world of love. I just shared on my story on Instagram the John Lennon Imagine song, because it's just been coming up so much that you say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. And I know I'm not the only one. So I'm calling all you dreamers.
Well, it's true. Gather now and ask your questions.
Yeah. Do the next time we have an open session, let's do kind of like the intro tools, spirituality 101. I don't know, something like that. That'd be fun. So if you're listening to the recording, we're here every Wednesday, 12 to 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Next week, we're diving into human design and gene keys. And so grab your chart before then. We are recording a series on our podcast about open centers, and I'm
So exciting.
so excited about this.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
no, it's so exciting. That's
Yeah.
very excited about it. I think it'll be a great tool for people.
Yeah, but if you have a question or something that you want us to discuss on a future episode, drop in a comment, shoot us a DM. If you want to join us one week, we would love to have anybody call in with us.
It's about time we have another guest on. I think it's time to have another guest on.
I agree. I think that is definitely so. If that's you, listener, let us know. We would love to have you and just
next week it's human design and gene keys, right? So then maybe the week after.
Yeah.
A guest on.
Yeah, that's the courtyard week. So that would be perfect. Yeah, we can have a guest on and we can talk through it. So oof, love it.
So if it's you or if you know someone or if there's someone you would like to have us have on, let us know and we'll reach out to them.
Yeah. I think we can wrap it up for today. And thank you for listening, watching in. We will see you next Wednesday, the same back channel. And
love you all. One of my favorite shows as a kid.
Yeah.
See you next week, everyone.
Thank you.